Yeah, we back with another episode of Black Men Kissing the Boots of the Arabs. Yes, indeed, back again. Now today, man, we're going to be talking about the government of South Africa is advocating on behalf of the Arabs in Palestine. I believe they went to the International Courts of Justice to advocate on behalf of our Arab family in the Middle East. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Obviously, it should come as no surprise because Nelson Mandela said the famous phrase that, you know, the black man can't be free until the Arab man is free. Well, he didn't say it exactly like that, but he said something like nobody can be free until the Palestinians are free. Now, shout out to Nelson Mandela, but you know, listen, man, that was comedy. You know what I'm saying? He must have been trying out his comedy routine when he said that. But let's get into this story, man. Now, as you can see by the headline, South Africa tells the top UN court that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza as the landmark case begins. Let's jump into the article real quick. In a case that strikes at the heart of Israel's national identity, South Africa formally accused the country of committing genocide against Palestinians and pleaded Thursday with the UN top court to order an immediate halt to Israeli military operations in Gaza. Now, okay, on the surface, it seems like a nice gesture, right? It seems like a nice gesture. Some people could say that the Palestinians, you know, the Arabs, they stood with South Africa during apartheid. I've heard that said before in the past, but the same can be said for the African nations that also stood with South Africa during apartheid. But even with that fact, the South Africans still give other African nationals their ass to kiss, regardless of the fact that other African nations also stood in support and solidarity with the South Africans during their struggle against apartheid. They still, in the modern day, give other African nationals their ass to kiss. And I even did a video a while back, I believe it was called South Africans starting their own FBA movement in terms of the toxic levels of xenophobia that has been rising in that nation. And in fact, there was a documentary put out by the British Broadcasting Company that went in detail about the rise of xenophobia in South Africa against other African nationals. And that's part of the reason why I started out the video the way I did when I said, back again with another episode of Black Men Kissing the Boots of the Arabs. Because it's just funny to me, right? It's funny to me. The black men who control the government in South Africa, they'll go to bat for the Arab man in the Middle East. But when other African nationals come to their country and they're met with hostile energy, sometimes violence and death, you don't go to the international courts on behalf of other Africans. You're not going to the international courts on behalf of Sudan, on behalf of the Congo, on behalf of any black country anywhere in the world. But the first agenda, the first thing on the agenda, nigga, we got to go to bat for the Arab. Man, listen, man, the black man is a funny individual. Your women starving, your kids starving, but I'm gonna go to bat for the fucking Arabs. Niggas is clowns, bro. And I know this doesn't apply to all black South Africans. I'm sure there are many black South Africans that see things the way I see it, that feel that there are more pressing issues that the government of South Africa can be occupying their time with. And I'm sure this doesn't apply to everybody. Every black South African is not an ignorant xenophobe. And I know that because there are some solid brothers from South Africa that follow my channel. They've been following my channel since day one when I was a very small channel. And those brothers are very solid, very intelligent, always have some decent contributions in the comment sections. And I got love for y'all. But y'all know when I talk about the xenophobic element in South Africa, y'all know I'm not talking about y'all. So, you know, I got love for my brothers in South Africa, the solid ones. Shout out to y'all, man. But we got to keep it real. This some goofy shit right here, brothers. This some goofy shit. This 5-star goofy shit. Ain't no way my women gonna be starving, my kids gonna be starving, and I'm gonna be occupying my time with whatever the fuck the Arab man got going on. Because the Arab man ain't never gonna stop what he's doing to come care about what the fuck I got going on. Man, stop. Unless it directly benefits him, nigga, he don't give a fuck about me. So regardless of that fact, there's some clown shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell it like it is. There's some clown shit. Black men kissing the boots of the Arabs like we've been doing for centuries. Clown shit. And I just gotta tell it like it is, bro. Just gotta tell it like it is. Now, let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. This person said, South Africa rising up against apartheid in Palestine will forever be one of the most inspiring lectures in international solidarity. You liberate yourself by liberating others. Yo, it's just so funny to me because for some reason that same phrase is never applied to other African nationals, right? They ain't going to the international courts on behalf of the Congo, on behalf of Sudan, on behalf of the victims of the jihadist terrorists in the Sahel. There was just a massacre in Nigeria like 2 weeks ago, but they don't give a fuck about that. You see the black man in South Africa, he don't give a fuck about that. But he'll stop whatever he's doing and go to bat for the Arabs all the way in the Middle East though, when there's black men and women inside his own country, inside his own borders, suffering. When there's black men and women inside his own continent, suffering. See, the black man, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with the black man. But anyway, let's continue. This brother said, South Africa, that has failed to tame xenophobia against their African brothers and has always looked the other way while fellow Africans died in the hands of gangs, is now prosecuting a case against Israel for killings in Palestine. African governments are funny indeed. Yeah, man, it's a comedy show. It's a comedy show. But once you realize that the majority of what you see, especially when you see actions taken by, these leaders such as this one, all of this shit is just posturing for international recognition, posturing for that Nobel Peace Prize, posturing, it's all it, political posturing. That's all it is, man. It's not going to bring anything of substance to any black folks anywhere on the planet. It's just political posturing. That's all it is. Now let's continue. This person said on the bottom, what happens after South Africa wins the court case? And the person on the top replied and they said, the black majority in South Africa remains landless and poor. Exactly. After you get done patting yourself on the back, I was a good sidekick for the Arab, I did the bidding of the Arab, after you feel good about yourself, your women and children inside the country and inside the continent is still gonna be fucked up. It's still gonna be down bad. It's still gonna be in the same position. And the same Arabs that you went to bat for, that you went to go defend in the international courts, they're gonna be back to their regular scheduled programming of shitting on black folks in the Middle East. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go back, going about their business. And you're gonna be in the same position, down bad and fucked up. The same position. Black folks going to the Middle East, getting disrespected. The same position. Nothing gonna change. This dumbass shit. Let's continue. This person said, this is beyond embarrassing. So much energy to fight for others, while their own still suffer the effects of crimes against humanity. This person said, Sudan is suffering, and they decided to go to the Middle East to support Hamas. Man, listen, man. Let's continue. This person said, this looks exactly like 1994 and very Mandela-ish. We were praised for things that did absolutely nothing for the natives. Yeah, man, all this shit is just, look at us, man. Look at us, going to bat for the Arabs, defending the Arabs. Look at us. That's all it is. Meanwhile, like I said, your women and children is still going to be down bad and fucked up. The crime is still going to be fucked up through the roof. The xenophobia is still going to be fucked up through the roof. The economic disparities are still going to be fucked up through the roof. But at least you defended the Arabs though, right? I mean, at least you defended the Arabs though, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. This person said, a xenophobic nation like South Africa are the ones taking Israel to the international courts. We should sue these jokers for the murder of Nigerians and other citizens of various African nations they murdered in the name of xenophobia. Now, that's why I say, man, it's just some clown shit, man. The black man from other countries go to South Africa, he gets met with hostility. He gets met with violence. He gets met with murder, right? But the fucking Arab, man, all the way in the Middle East, niggas left their crib, niggas left where they was at to go all the way to go help the Arabs all the way over there. This some clown shit, bro. This some clown shit. But like I said, I'm mainly talking about the government and those who are, waving the Palestinian flag, oh man, support the Palestinians. I'm mainly talking about them folks, my real brothers from South Africa. I got love for y'all boys, man. I got love for y'all boys. I'm not generalizing the entire population. I'm way more intelligent than that. I know it's not all of y'all. I know it's only some of y'all. I know all of y'all not xenophobic. I know all of y'all not ignorant. I know all of y'all understand the real shit. But I'm only talking about a certain segment of the population. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make that distinction and separation be known. Anyway, let's continue. This person said, South Africa should stop its own high crime rate and xenophobia against black African immigrants. Arabs hate blacks. History is replete with Arabs abusing blacks. Yes, indeed. But like I said, man, unfortunately, the black man will go to bat for a fucking Arab before he goes to bat for his own people, for his own brother, for his own cousins. That's just the reality of the fact. So much so that I'll probably get some hate speech under this video telling, niggas gonna be going in on me. Neferkari Dessalines, shut your mouth, nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. They gonna be going in on me. They gonna be going in on me because whenever I take this stance, this unapologetically black stance, I always get pushback. Whenever I take the position and I say, why the fuck would we give a goddamn about what they doing over there when our own house needs to be tended to, when our own people need to be tended to? We have our own issues that need to be tended to. So why the fuck am I gonna be worrying about what the Arab man doing all the way over there? Now you could say, well, the Palestinians stood with the South Africans during apartheid. Well, there were other African nations that stood with South Africa during apartheid, but that doesn't stop the xenophobia running rampant inside the country. Even though there were other African nations that stood in solidarity with South Africa during apartheid, does that stop the element of xenophobia from running rampant throughout the country? Does the government in South Africa go to the international courts on behalf of those other African nations that are also suffering on the continent that stood in solidarity with them during apartheid? No, but they're gonna stop whatever they doing, leave their political offices, leave their country, hop on a jet, hop on a plane, so go to the UN and go advocate for the fucking Arab. Yo, this shit is a circus. This shit is a clown show. Let's continue, man. In summary, man, I mean, this is not gonna change anything in the grand scheme of things. It's just it's just a photo op. It's just for international recognition. That's all it is, man. It's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna change the economic conditions of our people anywhere on the planet. And after everything is said and done, like I told you, the Arabs in the Middle East is gonna be back to their regularly scheduled programming of putting foot to ass and disrespecting black folks in the Middle East. And the South African government is not gonna be doing shit about it. They're not gonna go to the international courts on behalf of the black folks suffering in the Middle East, but they're gonna go to the courts on behalf of the Arabs. Yo, man, this shit is crazy, man. But in summary, all I'm saying is this. As black men, the things that we should be worried about is, first things first, our own people first, right? Our own people first, our own continent first, our own nations first. And after we get ourselves in order, then maybe if we feel generous enough, if we have enough left over that we can share with other people, then we can, take our time and advocate on behalf of others. But we cannot advocate on behalf of others before we advocate on behalf of ourselves, before we secure a future for our women and children. We cannot be wasting our time worrying about what the Arab man got going on, because the Arab man is not going to stop what he's doing to help us out and advance our agenda above his own. It's never going to happen. So as black men, we can't afford to be distracted by this sideline bullshit. I mean, shout out to the Palestinians, all blessings due to them, but listen, man, we got our own shit we worrying about, man. Like, I can't be wasting time worrying about what the Arab man got going on, bro. And if you do find it in your heart to do charity work and you want to stand in solidarity and advocate for other people, advocate for your cousins first. Advocate for your brothers from different locations first. If you are going to advocate on the behalf of somebody else, advocate on the behalf of other continental Africans first. Advocate on the behalf of other black men and women first. Because I'm sorry to tell you, it looks stupid when you have other nations on the continent that are suffering under terrorism that is being funded and backed by nations from the Middle East in collaboration with the West, for you to leave where you are at to go to the international courts to advocate on the behalf of Arabs in the Middle East. Man, listen, bro. And then on top of that, if a black South African were to go to the Middle East, regardless of the country, even in Palestine, you would get treated like shit. You would get treated like shit. You would not get the red carpet treatment. You would not get treated with respect. You would get treated like shit. So it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. I guarantee a black South African would get more love in another African nation than they would if they go to the Middle East, but you're going to go advocate on the behalf of Arabs in the Middle East. I don't understand it. In the grand scheme of things, it's going to bring no economic material change to the people or to the continent. It's a useless gesture. And to be honest, man, like I said, when all is said and done, the blacks in South Africa are going to go back to being fucked up and broke and fucked up in the game. And black folks in the Middle East still going to be getting treated like shit. But anyways, man, it's your boy Nefakari. That's Celine back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App up on the screen. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Came for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.